Hi, welcome back to the Elite Automation YouTube channel. I'm Malachi, CEO and engineer of Elite Automation. Today I have Sam here with me, who's a controls engineer, robotics engineer in this space, and he's going to kind of talk about how he came up in this space and things that he had to kind of go through to get to where he's at today.
I guess a lot of folks think that you need a degree,
Right.
to actually start off in, what I'm saying, in this kind of industry, but you really don't. You need to know how, or want to, and if you can actually sponge a lot of the information that's given to you, you would actually you would do well. But you don't need a degree. I mean, although that will help. It will help. Me, I came up from temp agency. I started off with manpower, bro. Manpower.
You hear that? Manpower.
I was making like $10.60 an hour at this point. I got some college knowledge. I've been to college. Didn't get my degree, but making $10.60, get hired in, making $15 an hour to fixing my own machines. I work for a company, PNC. It's called PNC. They had a variety of robotic sales in there, welding sales in there. They had me one in particular. It was a problem child. Always had downtime. Always waited for techs to come. Never got my rate. And what I did was start holding flashlights. Start my career off holding flashlights. And sponging the information.
You'll hear me say a lot through like my posts, YouTube. You gotta eat the shit. That holding that flashlight was his version of eating the shit to get to the next step.
Exactly. I wasn't too proud to hold flashlight. I was never too proud for that, especially when I'm stealing information. I'm stealing. Everywhere I go, I'm stealing information from folks. And if you want to give it to me or not, that's fine. I'm gonna have that funnel vision while you're around fixing something.
Right.
I'm watching.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, that's something you kind of have to do in this industry, because I don't know if it's an engineering thing or exactly what it is, but there's a lot of individuals that do not want to give up their information. They act like if they give you the information, it's going to be the end of the world. They may not want to teach you how to jog a robot, how to do any aspect of it. And a lot of it just boils down to insecurities and whatnot, but it's something that you'll have to deal with, and you'll kind of have to press through. Like, it don't matter if they want you there over their shoulders. You kind of just have to have the balls to kind of just do it,
I found my niche. I found out how to be in the way without being in the way. A lot of times you are in the way, I'm saying? Because I don't like people over my shoulder neither, but if you're going to be over my shoulder, hold this flashlight, and that's what I did. So, I also, was exposed to robots at a previous company before I actually got to where I am right now. I was a floor manager at a plastic molding injection company, and they had 2 robots in there. So, being a supervisor, I had to learn how to actually recover the robots, just basic, robotic recovery. With that, fast forward to the PNC, which I just explained, taking that little knowledge that I've had and translating to actually the welding software. I went from material handling applications to a ArcMate application, which is total different.
Definitely different. There's a lot more tools in there.
Way different. So with that, learning how to teach up different welding points, learning how to change the welding parameters,
stuff like feed rates and
speed, ampage, voltage, how much gas to put on it, how much gas not to put on, how much air. Learning that.
Yeah, that's actually, like, we're talking about the whole welding aspect of things. I knew, actually, whenever I got into automation, I thought one of the biggest things that you did was welding applications. I thought that majority of the market was made up in welding applications. So that whenever I was going through college, I was like, give me all the welding classes you can give me. So a lot of my electives was taking MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding, because I just wanted to know how to weld, so that way whenever I had a robot in my hand, I was able to, I knew the welding functions, so that way it'd be easier to teach the robot how to do the welds.
Exactly. You have to have some type of welding knowledge to actually work with ArcMates. And I was actually fortunate to have some people teaching me that at PNC. And moving along with that, the job actually seen me. I swear they seen how ambitious I was, how spongy I was, how I wanted, how ambitious I was. They actually sent me to Fanuc Robotics, because this guy is fixing his own machines. He's getting his rate. They actually rewarded me for the effort, the amount of effort I was putting in. I was reliable. I was going to work every day. So they saw that. I didn't know they saw that.
Right.
So
yeah,
people are watching.
They are watching, yeah. And to be honest, like if you're really trying to progress into this and you don't necessarily have the time or ability to go to college, it may be that you have to like press on like he was, and you might get fired from that first job. They might fire you for touching the teach pendant because some companies are like that. But if you go to another company that has robotics, manufacturing, stuff like that, and you do it, eventually one of these companies is going to take you under their wing and say, hey, actually, we need somebody. We don't have enough people in here to do it. And they're more than happy to pay you $15 an hour to learn how to do their robot. Because
I actually got caught at this job inside the whale cell. That's totally a no-no. No lockout. No lockout tag out. A definite no-no. And I'm actually jogging a $50,000 machine. That's instant termination.
Yeah.
But I somehow just by fortunate, I guess it was luck. Yeah. I didn't get. I actually got rewarded for my mischievous doings. And after that, it was just like uphill.
Yeah, I mean that was like a turning point in your career. That's where it said it.
That how they invested in me. I stayed with that company about 2 more years, and I felt that my experience and my knowledge was growing past my pay, which you will get big-headed. Yeah. Very, very. It's quick.
Yep.
You get big-headed and think that the money that you're getting. I went from $10.60 to making $22 an hour.
It's a big jump. Big.
For somebody, yes.
Yeah.
That was huge. You couldn't pay me $22 an hour. I would look at you crazy. But anyway, but no, like right now I'm a robotics controls engineer, and I don't have a degree at all.
Yeah. And also a big thing too about he worked his way up in that company. There's like a statistic that basically, if you want to get more money and more raises, you're more likely to do that by moving on to another company. So like being that they moved him from a 15 to a 22, he was probably going to hit a ceiling there probably somewhere soon. 27 maybe, right? But he can literally take that 22 an hour, go to another company, they immediately hire him at 27 an hour that day or more. You know what I mean?
Startup.
Yeah.
So you don't need a degree.
Yeah.
Like that's I worked my way up 1060 to 22 in a matter of a year. A year.
Big deal.
I planned on being an engineer 2 years ago, and I said I gave myself 5 years. 2 years ago.
Right.
2 years later, I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make this up. I should write a book about this because, like, you don't need a degree. You do need you do need education. You can't be a dummy at this.
No,
you can't just throw anybody in with this because it's a lot of detail. You
have to know the skill.
Man.
But somebody will hire you. If you have the skills, somebody will hire you.
Exactly.
I mean, and you might have to make a sacrifice, like get RoboGuide, Fanuc software, right? Simulation programming software. It costs $2,000 a year, or there's some other free version out there. But you get that. You might invest that $2,000. But if you put 20 hours a week into it every week, I would say within 6 months, you're able to go to a place and say, hey, I have the abilities to program Fanucs. Look at these. You can even show them, like, do screen recordings of the different applications that you've written where you're picking and placing and just doing different stuff with it. And if you're able to show off something like that, they're going to hire you. If you're able to demonstrate capabilities, that's the big thing I want to see. I want to see what have you done, what are your capabilities, and the piece of paper thing, I care less about. Somebody telling me saying, oh, I have a degree, or oh, I don't have a degree, there's no flag that really goes off in my head that I even care one bit.
Do you know how many guys with a degree that I've trained?
It's ridiculous, ain't it?
I have a master's degree in OJT, on the job training. So I'm not saying don't go to class. I'm not saying don't go to college.
Yeah, there's like 6 people that just quit college just now.
Yeah. I didn't say that. All I'm saying is there's some people that are not fortunate enough to get to college, get that money for college and whatever, and they just, you know, I work. This is the point I was about to bring up. I'm glad I brought that back up. I was working to learn, not to earn.
Yep. Perfect.
That's how I work.
Perfect.
I work to learn.
Yep.
Up to this day, it really ain't about the money. Because at this point in my life, it's not about the money right now, even though I'm getting it. But it's about that knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I be wanting that power. I got to be able to walk into any facility and be able to adapt quickly, because you have to get reacquainted, retrained in every facility you come in. No, I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how much you think you know. I seen one guy that walk in a facility. He walked in the facility, and I swear, he knew exactly. He looked at the logic and knew how to run everything. He read the logic and wake up. So he go, okay, so you just gonna go in there and pick that up, go over up there, it's gonna wait a flag, by reading just the logic.
Yep.
A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
You were semi-impressive too when you came over here. I like to put a bead on folks as soon as I meet them. Is he gonna be good? You can tell by the first 5-10 minutes what a guy knows, what he don't know, what he brings to the table, and what he's not bringing to the table. Man, about 10, 15 minutes. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he actually brought up a good point that I don't ever consciously think about, but he said just the way you came in and grabbed the teach pendant.
Yeah, so it's a way a person, I can tell, if you pick up a teach pendant, I would know exactly right away. You know, if I have to question you, that means I guess it's, you know, but when you came in and you was like, can I see that? And I'm like, I looked at you, man, and I gave it to you. You picked it up. The first 3 buttons you pushed, I'm like, okay. So now I think I can learn something.
Yeah.
Maybe you know some shit that I don't know. Or vice versa. Maybe you doing some shit, hold on, let me show you the easy way to do that. Which I did show you how to, you know, how you would get out of select screen and go to a job. And hit the edit key. Anyway.
I still don't do it. I don't know why I've been doing it for select for so many years. I don't know why.
All you do is hit edit. Right back to where you was, top of the screen, see what you line you was on, yada yada. What program you was in. I never get lost. You can't never get lost.
No.
Alright, so but with that, man, I like to say that you know, go to school. It's that might be the easiest way to get into this industry, but I mean, like I said, like I kind of don't take it for granted where I came from, coming from the bottom to where I'm at right now, as opposed to coming from the top and learning what the bottom is doing.
Yeah.
So actually it was an advantage. That was my advantage, and it's actually to run this sale, to learn this sale without somebody teaching me. That's
your best experience is on site. On site, like if you're working at McDonald's and you're going to school for robotics, you need to just quit that right now. You know what I mean? You need to you're better off being a mechanic, because at least you're turning a bolt and around something that's doing some type of mechanical function. Giving out more information, giving out the most amount of information. I overtrain people. People don't even ask me like how to do this. I'm like, hey, you know,
that's a good thing about you. That's why I like working with you. Whenever you grab a pendant, sometimes you don't. You just be going too fast.
Trying to get shit done.
Trying to get it done, but I really do. When you take the pendant from me, I would like to get. What are you doing? Where are you headed? What do you see? Why are you doing certain things? Why are you doing certain things? I always ask questions. Always ask questions, because don't just watch and be like, oh, okay, that's how he did it. Ask why he did that, because there's certain times when you would think you're doing what you saw him do, but it's really not the same thing. So you really got to ask questions, and I get my best answers from the operators. Be honest in this industry, because
stop firing people for being honest.
It's not. We're not gonna get fired. I always tell folks, you're not gonna get in trouble. I just need to know what this machine was doing at this certain point in time. Why is, looking at the state it was, what was it doing to when it stopped, and this is where it is, and what operation is this machine going into next? operators, that's why I say I get all my general information from operators because they know how this machine works. They're around this machine 110% of their time. Uh, so all you incoming, new, fresh robotics or controls guys, be nice to those guys because you'll find out that getting the right kind of information from them will make your job a lot easier.
They know the process way better than you do.
Way better.
They're with it all day.
To no avail, man. It's worth it. So, you'll walk into a plant thinking that you only making $10, $12, 13 hours. I mean, you know what I'm saying, $13 an hour, and you think this is a dead end job, but at the same time, it's really not because
find the opportunity.
Yep. The more you learn, the more you earn. Yep. The more you know, the farther you go.
This one blew him away. I never made more than $25 an hour on a 9-to-5 job, and I did that because it was like experience, exposure. Like pay me like shit. I want the exposure. They created a beast. We started Elite Automation. You feel me? Like, hey, it wouldn't never happened if I wouldn't have took those sacrifices.
Yeah. So right now this is how good God is. This is how great my job is. This is how much I love my job, and we're truly, well, of course, he's his own boss, Elite Automation. But at the same time, like, we are our own boss. Like, it's nothing for us to run a pallet right now and then leave.
Yeah, we have more flexibility than 99% of Americans or the world. We make more money than the 1% of the world. I don't know if he wants to divulge into how much he makes, but he makes phenomenal money. Phenomenal, and I'm
6 figures, of course.
Yeah,
he's 6 figures too.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like it came from where $10 an hour.
I came from 10.60.
You know what I mean? That's
I remember
crazy.
I remember that, like 10.60. Now I used to do underground boring, push underground pipe for for water mains.
Yeah.
I was making $19 an hour there, which was great money at that time.
Yeah.
I also delivered for Sears, so I was making $300 a day doing that, delivering for Sears. That's great money.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good money, great money.
Yeah. No, that's the dynamic. Then it was great money. Because you didn't see the light.
And then I went to 1060, which was below my grade, bro. 1060.
Took a pay cut.
I took a pay cut because honestly, I just had a newborn. Yeah. I had to go and make something. Like, it's crazy how kids will change your life, bad or worse. They will change your life. So yeah, I 1060, 15, 22, 30, 35, 45 to where I'm at right now, though. I mean, it was just, the rise was unique.
And it ended up being fast. After you started getting past a couple points, boom, boom, fast. Then it's a matter of repositioning yourself, selling yourself, and the ability to do whatever job task that may be.
I have the ability. I have a variety of different angles that I can actually go. If I can go with controls engineer, I can kind of slide off into robotics engineer. I'm not as well defined as I am with robots. I'm not as well defined as I am in robotics as opposed to how I am with the control side of things, which I can learn. He's been teaching me, actually a lot since I've been here. Actually, this whole process has been a learning experience. So with that, it's adding more knowledge to what I already have, and that's creating a whole.
After you break through a certain point, you're making phenomenal money, getting the best experience you can potentially get. You know what I mean? The most flexibility. I mean, after you reach that certain point, and if you're willing to have the dynamic of working with like a systems integrator or contractor type of individual, working on these automated systems, I mean, the game changes.
The game has been changed.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could say, like 5 more years or so. I mean, you'd be that type of person where you come in for like 1 hour and charge like $10,000 because like you just knew this thing,
I could be a field service technician for a variety of welding engineer. Like, I didn't know how easy that was. Especially with the well knowledge that I have. All I need is a CCI, my CI. But anyway, like I said, 1060, we'll do this again. The matrix. 1060, 15, 22, 30, 35, 40, 45 to where I am now.